Hey guys, it's Admiral Seabass. Welcome back to Operation Shattered Curtain, turn 6.4 US Global. Tech. Tech 4, Advanced SLBMs need an 8 or higher. Tech 9, Advanced Air Superiority Fighters need a 7 or higher. Tech 10, Chem, trying to get on the board here with an 8 or higher. And Tech 11, Advanced Sonar, trying to finish this one. Also for an 8 or higher. Okay, let's see what we get. Shake these up really well. Oh. Okay. Well, that's a miss. That's a miss. That's a miss. So Tech 9, Advanced Air Superiority Fighters. That will be a hit. And since that's a hit, you know what time it is. It's morning again in America. All right, let's roll that one again. Let's see. We could actually finish this if we roll a 7 or higher. All right. Well, I'm not going to change my buy, but next turn might have to buy one of those. All right, purchase. For our friends and allies, NATO, very ably commanded by Backfire X this game. We are spending 4 IPP on a Marine, and we are spending 4 IPP on an SSN. We are putting 2 free diplomacy dice to try to sign a defense treaty with Jordan. They are currently at only a cooperation treaty. So we will try to get a defense treaty with them. This is a reminder for me to do the recruitment roll for Iran, since they were invaded by the dastardly Soviets under the command of Tabletop Tactician. We're going to buy a destroyer for 4, a paramilitary for 2, an airborne for 3, 2 SSNs for 8, 2 air cav for 8, an attack bomber and a fighter for 12, and then using 9 battle stars plus 1 IPP, we're going to fast build with our advanced manufacturing a minor shipyard and a minor army base. All right, let's do combat movement. So first, technically a combat move. These SSNs in A41 are going to go 1, 2, 3 back to A29 and come off silent running. Okay. This SSN from A29 is going to go to A34 and fire a cruise missile into Puerto Rico. The U.S. major air base in southern U.S. using its GLCM capability will fire a cruise missile 1, 2, 3 into Puerto Rico. And this airborne will conduct an airborne assault 1, 2, 3 into Puerto Rico. All right. Then I only have 3 combat moves this turn, so actually that's a decent vantage point. I'm going to declare war on South Yemen, represented by this task force marker and army card here, or army marker and army card. I don't like to call it task force if it's on land. It's just a me thing. Anyway, the 2 early gen MBTs and the early gen fighter defending for South Yemen are already on this card. So now I'll move to that card all the attacking things. So the attack helicopter from Yemen will come in. The 2 airborne operating from the joint U.S. Air Base in Suez, our allied partner, and with advanced airborne capability, able to launch 2 airborne infantry from a minor air base, will go 1, 2, 3. Actually, it'll go 1, 2, 3 from Malqa into South Yemen. The A-10 from Suez will go 1, 2, 3 All air units except the strategic bomber that survived this are gonna land in Oman. Just declaring that now. The fighter will go 1, 2, 3. And the strategic bomber, whose crew has heard about the excellent Houthi SAM capabilities, will fly in there as well. Okay? And then from the U.S. fleet in I-6, a Top Gun air superiority fighter will also join the party. So the airborne will actually be attacking at a 4 for the... actually, no, at a 5, because they attack and defend at +1 now. And they have close air support, so they'll actually be at 5s. Okay? And Tabletop Tactician has elected to go regular combat with his early gen fighter in South Yemen. Okay. Then, let me move you over here. So, from the fleet, we will be conducting a surgical strike into Hyderabad with our spy satellite. And that attack, just remembered I forgot to build my cruise missiles and ASMs. As soon as I start moving missiles around, I remember, oh yeah, you need to build those. So I threw those right here. Okay. So we will do 2 attack bombers. They will be surgical striking at a 7 each. 1 fighter, the survivor of the heroic effort to defend South Pakistan, will be running SEAD, so I'll move him up here. And then escorting, we will have a Top Gun ASF and 2 regular ASFs. And Tabletop has decided not to scramble. Could have scrambled a fighter from New Delhi and an early gen from West Bengal, but I think a good decision not to scramble. So, and that's it. Those are all my attacks. So, all right. First, let me bring you back up here, and we will actually, let's do like that, and we will roll the diplomacy dice for Jordan. We are looking for a defense treaty, so we need one of these 2 dice to be a 10 or higher. All right, we got it. So we will place a defense treaty marker onto Jordan. Outstanding. Okay. Now let me move you back here. And then I'm going to bring the South Yemen battle in. So, actually, no, let's do the surgical strike first. We'll go from right to left. So, first things first will be our fighter running SEAD. And that will be at a 6 or less. Miss. Okay. Now, I will roll these all at the same time. So we will have in green the 2 attack bombers, and in pink, which seems suitable for the communists, the 3 SAM shots at a 2. All right, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Yep. Okay, here we go. Okay, wow. That's a whiff by everybody. So I think everybody's getting a little tired over here in this part of the world. So absolutely no hits on either side there. All right, that kind of sucked. Okay, now let's do the South Yemen battle. So let me go get that card. Bring it over and maybe put it at the top of the screen. I don't think we need to battle board this. So, okay, yeah, you can kind of see this. All right, so I don't think either side has any first strike. Nope. So let me roll first the U.S. Top Gun air superiority, who will be attacking at a 6. that's a 4. So that will definitely be the early gen fighter, because that's all the air superiority fighter can hit. Okay. Now, the 2 airborne at 5 and the attack helicopter at a 6. And there's 2 more hits. All right. Let me do a little bit of overkill here. So first I got 5 dice here. Let's just do the carpet bombing. There's 1 more hit. We'll stop there because I think that's good. So now shooting back will be 2 early gen MBTs at a 2 and an early gen fighter at a 3. Oh, thank goodness. Early gens didn't get me this time. So, all right, we will take that with no casualties. All right, so we have captured South Yemen with 2 airborne. And then I'm going to move this up here because that card is going to become the new forces in Oman. Okay. But first, we have to resolve what Tabletop Tactician referred to as the living on a prayer fight. and he knows the way into my heart with the 80s music. So, late 80s. Mid to late 80s. I think 86, 87. Okay. So we have 2 cruise missiles and a U.S. airborne, which is attacking at a 4 because of advanced airborne. So, 2 cruise missiles at 5 and an airborne at a 4. All right, cruise missile hit, which is a first strike. Just rolled them all together. So, battle over. Puerto Rico has been recaptured for the forces of good. And the airborne will survive. All right. And I think that's it for combat. All right, so that was pretty good except for the surgical strike. That was kind of disappointing. All right, so over here, as I said, the strategic bomber will fly back to Suez. And I will go ahead and put him on the card here in the Sahara. I don't like to mix the units, especially since my Egyptians and my U.S. forces are kind of similar, especially at a glance. So this will be our U.S. Air Forces in Suez. And then, as I mentioned, as I sort of mentioned, the Top Gun ASF will fly back to the carrier, one of the super carriers, in I-6. And then landing in Oman will be the A-10, the other fighter, and the attack helicopter. Okay? I think you can see that there. All right, now, a bunch of other non-combat moves. Okay, so the air cav in Malqa will move eastern Saudi and also into Oman. Then, what else am I doing here? The amphibious assault ship in the Red Sea here that's I-5, will load up the Marine. He already has an attack helo on board. He'll load up the Marine from Yemen, and he will move I-4, I-7, and onto the fleet card in I-6, where he will deposit the attack helicopter into South Pakistan and the Marine into South Pakistan. Okay. The next gen MBT in Oman will sea lift I-7, I-6, and into South Pakistan. Okay. The other Top Gun ASF will return to his carrier from the unsuccessful surgical strike. The 2 regular Top Gun ASFs will also return to their carrier. And then one of the fighters will return to the carrier. One of the attack bombers will return to one of the carriers. This attack bomber will move back to Oman, where he will magically be turned into an appropriate land-based U.S. Air Force attack bomber sculpt. Okay. SpySat will go back to my dashboard. All right. Then the SAM, my SAM here I thought I was going to airlift him, but I think I'm not. I'm going to make call an audible, and I hope I don't regret this. He will strategic land move to Mexico and then into Guatemala off screen with my 3 next-gen MBTs. All right? Then also, this Air Superiority Fighter will also not airlift, hopefully not a mistake. He will move down to Panama, and he will be at the joint U.S. Air Base at our ally in Panama. Okay? 3 next-gen SAM Air Superiority Fighter in Panama. All right. I think that's all my combat moves, or not, and non-combat moves. So let's place units. All right. So first of all, we'll keep you over here at the shipyard in A29. Nuclear attack sub production will continue, and I'll place the 2 SSNs there, giving me 5 SSNs in A29. Okay, let's bring you over to this part of the world. Okay, my new shiny minor shipyard will be built here in Yemen. My new shiny minor army base will be built in South Pakistan. My paramilitary will be built in South Pakistan. Using the Marine Expeditionary Forces special ability, 1 aircav will be built each on the amphibious assault ships in I-6. Top right corner here. Right there. My destroyer will be built at the minor shipyard in South Pakistan. Into the I-6 fleet. One of the fighters will be built on the supercarrier with 2 slots. The attack bomber will also be built on the same supercarrier using his last slot. Then we got to go all the way back over here to this part of the world where the airborne will be built in southern United States. Military aid. So, pull you way back here. Should be able to see that. This is the shortest route and also an open route. Marine will be built at the major Army base supervised by President Reagan in Northeast United States, and he will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into NATO home country, the Marine in Denmark. The SSN, let's see if I can get you a good vantage point here. That's decent-ish. You have to look all the way top left of the screen for the NATO SSN. He will be built at the major shipyard in Northeast United States, and he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Shortest route is co-equal whether you use A39 or A32. 5, 6, 7, 8, and be delivered all the way on the top right screen to the NATO fleet, the victorious NATO fleet in M10. All right. Now, let's do the recruitment roll for Iran. All right, we're looking for a 2. Oh, I forgot a non-combat move. Okay, looking for a 2 or less. Didn't get it. The non-combat move that I forgot is all the Iranian stuff is coming over here to eastern Iran. Okay. Missed our recruitment roll. Let's collect money and battle stars. So let me move the U.S. fleet down. Not trying to not kill stuff on the map. Okay, so get rid of this. Okay, battle stars. I believe. So first of all, let me build my missiles. So 2 cruise missiles, and I'll have 2 anti-ship missiles. Saved 1 anti-ship missile this turn. So for battle stars, I captured Puerto Rico, I captured South Yemen, and I had an air superiority kill in South Yemen is 3. I think that's it. I think that's all my battle stars. So 3 battle stars. I'm still at 45 base income, but now I get a +1 each for Yemen and South Yemen. So that will put me at 47 IPP cash on hand for turn 7, and I will show that reflected here in a second. $47 IPP in or on my dashboard, and I'll do a disposition for my colleagues here off screen. All right, take care, everyone. Admiral Seabass out.